The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. We kick things off just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time, about 24 minutes to go until the start of trading, and you have markets in positive territory. PPI, Producer Price Index, it comes in light this morning. You see a little bit of a spike. We put the markets on a 5-minute chart, and there's your acceleration on the PPI number. Comes in light, goes down for the first time since April. We get consumer prices, CPI. Tomorrow we get PPI today. The market catches a lift. We're up by about 31 points. Now, Oracle, we're going to get to Oracle, man. How about some numbers? Mr. Ellison, okay, he's coming for Elon. Yeah, this type of 30%. Oracle up 30% on their cloud. So the market was already higher. We get PPI. The markets go higher. NASDAQ 100. We're up by about 0.5% right now. 108 points in the green, 23,982. Dow negative by 10 right now, and the Russell positive by 6. We jump over to yields. So on the PPI front, wholesale prices going down 0.1% in August, the first time since April. On a yearly basis, comes in light. You have higher price, lower yield, not surprising, as we get a Fed decision 1 week from today. The 10-year sitting at 4.06 right now, okay? Jobs market seems to be in trouble. We get revisions yesterday of 911,000. Lower rates, 4.06%. The dollar not testing the lows just yet, though. Right? Yesterday, we're as low as 97.25. Right now, we're trading at 97.79 on the dollar. You jump over to gold. Not quite at the highs of yesterday when you did have that dollar weakness. Gold hit 37.15. Gold right now up $2 on the session at 36.84. You jump over to silver. Up about 15 pennies at 41.50. Okay, as much as I want to get to those Oracle numbers because, boy, they are amazing. Let's talk about the PPI first. Producer prices unexpectedly dropped. First decline since April. Now, the larger event is tomorrow with the CPI, but even that's not the preferred inflation gauge for the Fed. And you want to keep in mind that the CPI in particular has a lot more housing, right? Owner equivalent rent, a much bigger component, as well as some others, and that's why the Fed actually prefers the PCE, the personal consumption expenditure, and housing, owner's equivalent rent. Let's listen to some great Bloomberg commentary earlier this morning. A lot of countries don't even use owner's equivalent rent, okay? Because owners aren't paying rent, right? The value of those properties is going up, and rents can be going up, but owner equivalent rent is quite a number to throw in there. If those numbers aren't really going up, are they? Nonetheless, PPI on a yearly basis, 2.6% is all it's up. They had a 3 number, was what was expected. On the month, it was down 0.1%. Excluding food and energy, it was up 0.3%. Services down 0.2%. And yeah, light numbers on the PPI. Okay, now, let's get into Oracle. Because, boy, you talk about this one. And that's the one to look at, folks. Okay? This is obligations. Let me get this one. For what they just reported. Now, their infrastructure, Oracle's cloud infrastructure increased 55% to $3.3 billion. Okay, that's revenue from OCI. Not a staggering number, except that they're about to add $200 billion in market cap. Look at this equity. As in, it's going to be up 30%. You got to go back to in the year 2000 for a 30% rally. Only a few of them, and hey, when you're this large, yeah, only a few equities, but this is the infrastructure, but that's not the chart. This is the chart. This is bookings, remaining performance obligations. This is their backlog, okay? The company signed 4 multi-billion-dollar contracts, 3 different customers. Remaining performance obligations to $455 billion. That's up from $137 billion. It's an amazing number. Now, CapEx, it's going up, but probably not a big deal when they're looking at these numbers going out to going out for the last quarter. CapEx comes in at $35 billion. The market was looking for 26, but when you do this type of number, folks, the market doesn't care. 30%. And yeah, you're going to have Ellison coming for Mr. Elon. Boy. And I was joking last night in the Tiger's Den as he's going to have plenty of money to buy more islands, and he's going to have plenty of money to help his son out, David, with Paramount Skydance, making sure that they have plenty of content, and maybe they'll even have to host more than one live cage fighting event on the White House lawn. It's an amazing level of wealth, folks. And, you know, Ellison, nobody was talking about Ellison being poor, of course, in April. But you look at this equity, folks, on Oracle. You're at 120. Now, that's the action overnight. You come in at 240. We're trading at 322 right now. You take a look at the daily. You were at 118. We're going to open at 322. 322. You're going to be pushing a 200% gain from where you were in April. And yeah, $70 billion is what that gentleman, I mean, how about that morning? Where is Larry Ellison this morning? Is he on his Hawaiian island? Is he on one of his yachts? He's somewhere, and boy, you know, you had to, sometimes these events, right? You go into an earnings event like that, they know they're going to release the big numbers. They're wondering how big it's going to be. And yeah, look at that catch up, man. And listen, I say, he was only worth $164 billion in April. Folks, Larry Ellison just made $200 billion in the last 4 or 5 months. $200 billion in the last 4 or 5 months. And so, yeah, that's Ellison's in yellow, Elon's in black, and basically they're one blip away. And he does. He has a, let's see if this one says it. Because Ellison, he's just kept all of that money. So this is July of 2025. He has he owns more than 40% of Oracle. 40%. He's got to take a stake in Tesla as well. He's got other things going on there. But he's got a 40% stake in Oracle, man, and they're coming for it. How about that? Whew. And, you know, fundamentally, well, let's take a look. Because the only thing I can imagine in this chart is that we're doing an A to B, C to D, because you are going to blow away this B point, right? The highs from July at 260. You're going to blow it away. You're going to do it with volume. You're going to open at 321, and the 1-to-1 brings you all the way up to $360. Hey, producer prices coming down. Oracle, gangbuster earnings. You got Microsoft higher in the pre-market. Apple a little bit lower. Don't go away, folks. We'll come right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We have markets waiting for quite an open when you're going to be digesting those Oracle numbers, and you jump over with the S&P, digesting the PPI numbers. We're pushing higher, up by about 0.6% right now. You jump over to Microsoft shares. Look at that acceleration from 497 up to 507 on Microsoft. You jump over to Amazon. Not quite the same acceleration if you're looking for cloud, etc. You jump over to Google shares right now, slightly higher in the pre-market as well, as at 240.44. Jumping back to Oracle for a moment, okay? Because, you look at, get back to that story. Here we go. Now, what's amazing here is that's the future obligations, okay? It's going to take them a long time to catch up to the demand that they have. You look at their revenue forecast, they're currently at $18 billion for fiscal year 2026. They're looking for potentially $145 billion in 3 or 4 years. Now, some of the multiples in this market right now are getting a little bit lofty. And yeah, the stocks have gone straight up for a while. But remember these types of charts every time you say that we're in a bubblicious bubble, because yes, we seem like we're getting a little bit lofty right now. But folks, these numbers, and OCI, I've been talking about it for a while, folks. If I was in cloud, I talked about it. They've had some outstanding ads running on Bloomberg. OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. I think it was something like save 50% versus the competitors, save 60% versus AWS, right, versus Azure. they ran incessantly on Bloomberg. I'm sure they were running in many other areas as well. And even in my own head, I said to myself, man, if I was, in that business, if I was buying that capacity, you better believe I would be giving them a call and saying, hey, what kind of prices are you guys talking about here? Because I hear the ads running, and guess what? Yeah, they've got plenty of demand, and that is quite a number. And you better believe they're going to have some growth multiples when you're talking about growing a business from $18 billion to $144 billion over the next coming 4 years. That's just going from 2026 to 2030. And at the same time, you look at that, and then you look at the backlog they have, okay, and the ramp up. They were only at 137 for their backlog 3 months ago. They're at 455 billion. Yeah. And yeah, as they're talking about in the Tiger's Den as well, man, you think Paramount Skydance is going to have a chance at failing, folks? I'm bullish on that one as well, for various reasons beyond. But staying liquid is one of the biggest parts of the problem, right? They signed that deal with the UFC. When they signed that deal with the UFC, it was like a $7 billion deal. I'm jumping around. The whole market cap for the company was $7 billion, right? Imagine you run a business that's worth $2 million and you sign a contract to pay some company $2 million over the next coming years. That's what they did. Well, guess what? That's not going to be a problem. Now, this thing's got some meme volatility in it, and it's not trading today off of Oracle. But you better believe the two are intertwined. And this is not some small endeavor. This is Paramount, this is CBS, and it's Skydance, and it's a media company. And if you're going to be the richest man in the world, why not control a media company? And why not have it be a successful media company? But boy, can't wait to see how Oracle opens. You're going to open at $320. And yeah, Ellison, he's got 40% of that company, man. And he's pushing Elon. Whew. Didn't see that coming in April, right? Jump over to Tesla shares. And yeah, Tesla, well off the highs of 488 earlier in the year. You're trading at 346 right now. You're trading at 350 in the pre-market. We jump to some of the other streamers. Warner Brothers Discovery right now. Quite an acceleration from their lows in April. We had a nice sign of strength last week on a short trading week. I mean, look at how we had this is what you like to see, folks, right? Warner Brothers Discovery, you get some nice volume on the way up, some nice volume at the highs. You trade lower, even on that wide price spread. You rip lower on lighter volume on a weekly basis. And now we're climbing on some increased volume. That was a big volume number on 4 trading days last week. Let's look at the daily from Warner Brothers. Yeah, you look at that selling, right? Huge price movement. But the volume day is not that large for an earnings event where you're driving lower on Warner Brothers. Jump over to Netflix shares. Going to open slightly in the red. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, volume just waning a bit on this equity on Netflix shares. You jump over to Disney shares. They got a lot going on with ESPN right now. I signed up for that ESPN service. I bundled it with Disney. I wanted to be able to watch that first Monday Night Football game, man. There's nothing like live sports to get people signed up. I can always cancel it. It's going to be quite a drive. And that's why part of that Paramount Skydance, folks, I refused to sign up for a pay-per-view event for UFC. I'm going to watch every one of those UFC events now because I'm going to get it on Paramount. And imagine the impulse every Saturday night when all you got to do is sign up for 1 month of Paramount and you get UFC. Disney just bumping up against the top of its range. Take a look at the monthly. We've been talking about this for some time. I mean, you're bumping up to all where we were in August of 2015, folks, more than 10 years ago. Disney rips lower on probably an earnings event. You had a high of 122, and that's been the consolidation area. That was the highs of 2024 as well, and we bounced a bit, trading a little bit lower from that price level. All right, keep our eye on yields this morning. Yeah, continuing to drop right now. So you're looking at a 10-year approaching 4.05% right now. Dollar sitting at 97.70. And gold sitting at 36.86. You take a look at crude right now. Crude sitting at 63.17. Yeah, you get some GameStop volatility. Oof. These meme stocks, man. All right, let's jump around to some of the lenders. So mortgage numbers, Lennar, you're going to be a little bit higher. They love when you get some low rates, man. And mortgage demand, yeah. How about the highest level in 3 years? We'll end with this as we come into the opening bell. Mortgage demand, highest level in 3 years as interest rates drop. These home builders. You go to 6.49% from 6.64%. So you drop about 15 basis points. Applications to purchase a home up 7%, 23% higher from a year ago, 6.49%. Come back for the open, folks. Don't go away.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got equities open right now, and we have the market giving back some of those gains. S&P's up by 25 points, but you see as we came into the opening bell there, giving up about 10. We're trading a little bit lower. NASDAQ 100, we're up by 88 points. 23,965. Dow dips to negative territory on some selling. We're coming right back to where we were prior to that PPI number. Yeah, Dow off by 70 points. The Russell hanging on to gains by 1 right now. We jump over to Oracle on the open. Holding on to the gains. 31.46%. You talk about it, man. Quite a run. You jump over to Microsoft shares. Giving back some of that gain. Still up by about 0.9%. We'll talk a little bit of Apple on the heels of their event yesterday. The market a little underwhelmed. Down by 1.2% for Apple shares. Amazon down by 0.7% right now. Google down by 0.5% right now. You jump over to Tesla. Up by 0.7% right now. NVIDIA. Yeah, how about it, right? Up by 3.3% for NVIDIA shares. You're almost a solid $10 above where you were trading at just yesterday on NVIDIA. You were down to 166.77. We're trading at 175.87 for NVIDIA shares. AMD up by 4% right now. Intel up by 0.4% right now. Yeah, Oracle holding on to it, man. Almost at the highs, up by 32%. Whew. All right, we jump around. Uber. So Uber up another 0.6%. I say another, as in this thing is on quite a run right now. You're pushing the highs of 97.72 that we had back here in July. We take a look at the longer term weekly, and how about this uptrend? All right, let's back it up even further so you can see. We make a bottom in 2022 that comes into the COVID lows. And yeah, not exactly a science, but more of an art. But we're in a nice uptrend channel. Uber pushing the highs right now. Gave up those highs a bit on volume in May. Volume has waned a bit. Let's take a look at the weekly. They're going to be launching a helicopter service. How about that? All right, that's some nice volume from the lows, but it's waned a bit as we've traded a bit higher. But yeah, they're going to launch Blade helicopter rides next year through the expanded Joby partnership. So Joby acquired Blade for $125 million in August. And so they were working together in 2019. Yeah, they sold the elevated flying taxi division to Joby in 2020. And then Joby buys Blade. Yeah, but integrating Blade into the Uber app, natural next step for our global partnership with Uber. That was the Joby founder. And so, yeah, air taxis. You know, I've always said it seems like air taxis might even be an easier go-around for programming. You think about all the different variables that you need to program for driving around on a road, right? The number of different... You have to decipher what you're seeing, and this is like the most layman's understanding of anything, right? But you know, we're all humans, folks. The people who are working on this brilliant AI stuff, just imagine it yourself, right? You have to program. There are a bajillion, that's an official number, a bajillion different variables that cars are going to encounter on the road. We see these horror stories of somehow an AI doesn't pick up a certain part of it. When you're in the air, you basically just have to avoid everything. So my own, you know, it's like if you approach it from that standpoint, flying taxis, all they are is a drone, and drones are already there. So it's coming, man. Uber up another 0.1%. Let's check back in on Oracle shares. Oh, even higher. That's you can't help but keep checking, man. Those numbers, to blow away the street like that, you're almost going to do a 1-to-1 in a day. How about that? I mean, you almost are. Your pullback was down to 220. You came into the earnings at 240, and you only got to get to 360 to be a 1-to-1 of this magnificent move that you did from April all the way up to July. It's not stopping. 35%, man. Look at this run. Not Microsoft, though. Look at that. Microsoft gives it back. Almost in the negative right now. Amazon, no love as well. Okay. And boy, Amazon, you know, keep those spikes up on Amazon, man. They had a problem their last go-around. You look at the numbers that OCI just put up, and then you look at Amazon growing AWS by 17% back here in their last earnings event. They're the clear leader. But boy, there's a new competitor in town, to put it lightly. Google lower. Boy. Oh yeah, Broadcom up by 5%. We haven't hit Broadcom yet. Geez, look at this map though. Right, you take out Oracle, Nevada, Broadcom, AMD, and Micron. It's almost all red. Constellation Energy's got some green going, and Vistra. Let's check out Constellation. Up by 4.2% for Constellation. CCJ up by 2.4% right now. Going to little uranium. Check out some of the gold stocks. Harmony up by 4% right now. Hecla's been on a tear. It's continuing. Up by 5% right now. First Majestic up by 2.2%. They're another silver play. New Gold up by 2.7%. Oof. These gold equities. Jump over the XAU. Yeah, we're now well above the 1 to 1.618. Whew. Look at this movement. There's been no pullback this year, and the XAU's doubled in price. No pullback. I mean, yeah, you got a pullback in March. Okay? The COVID volatility. Slight consolidation. Jump over to the HUI. It's almost the same chart. Come on, Thinkorswim. All right. It is remarkable that you're seeing headlines. Oracle on pace for the best day since when, folks? That's a weekly, but it's all a daily. 1999. 1999. Party like it's 99, baby. I don't know if that's what you want to hear coming into a market that's pushing all-time highs on growth prospects, partying like it's 1999. But boy, oh boy. And imagine, he's got 40% of this company in over a period of 3 years. What's that? You're up by 400%? 60, you're at what? 260, 2240, yeah, 450%. 450% from those lows. And if you just take where we were in 2021, this equity's up, and I'm cherry picking the highs. This equity's up 200+%. Man, Mr. Ellison, having quite a morning thinking about what kind of other islands he's going to be buying in Hawaii. And maybe media companies. Why not? Dell shares up by 3.2%. Yeah. There's Broadcom up by 7%. And it's not stopping, man. NVIDIA up by almost 4% right now. Oracle up by 35%. All right, folks, stay tuned. We're going to be coming back. We're going to be talking to our man Teddy Kegstad. We'll talk some currencies. Great day. We'll talk some currencies. We'll talk some yields. Dollar trading at 97.65. We're coming back with Teddy. Don't go away, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, You choose the direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
NASDAQ gives it up a bit. You got some selling in the NASDAQ, but not in Oracle, man. We're pushing higher. Oracle was just up almost 40% at one point. But let's talk a little bit of currencies. Let's talk a little bit of commodities. Right now, folks, we're going to jump over to our man, Teddy Kegstad. You can check out Teddy's outstanding Tiger Forex report right under the newsletter tab at TFNN, folks. You hit that button. It's $97 a month. You hit the subscribe button, folks. You gain access to Teddy's outstanding report. You get updates throughout the week. There's a webinar in there as well, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Great information, folks, and don't forget he's got a couple of great webinars under the Services tab talking about capitalizing on time with calendar stock option spreads, as well as Japanese candlestick pattern stock and option strategies. Teddy Kegstad, good morning.
Good morning, Tommy.
So, Teddy, did you see the Oracle news? Mr. Ellison, he's coming for Elon.
Yeah, how about it? How about it?
This market's something else. But let's talk a little dollar. So we got some PPI numbers this morning, Teddy, ahead of the CPI tomorrow. We got a Fed decision 1 week from today. But what are you thinking about this market right now? Rates a little bit lower from the last time we talked. We had a jobs number. What are you thinking, man?
Oh, yeah, rates are a little bit lower, higher in price. They're hitting a nice little resistance area, which they're pretty much have gravitated to the higher end of the range that we've been trading in. Once again, unless the Fed cuts, they're not going to get much higher. Prices aren't going to go much higher, meaning lower yields, until there's actually something that happens. I still don't think they're going to cut in the meeting. I believe that we're going to be sideways in the currencies until the meeting, especially as we get closer each day. But I think if there's a trade to watch out for right now, I would watch crude oil, because the recent swing low, I think if we can dip below it, we've had a nice bounce off of it, but if we fall back on that and take it out, I think we could see crude get down to like $58 a barrel, which would be a nice little slide, a newer move low for that market. I think that's the only trade to kind of really watch right now, because that's the only swing trade in motion, really. Everything else is very, very tight, especially even with the currencies. Like, you had the dollar index make a nice move to start the week off with follow-through from Fridays and stuff like that, but you didn't see a big move in the euro. It's the overall basket of currencies that have strengthened against the dollar, not the major, contributing factors like the euro, the pound, and the yen. So, and that's another trade. I would say watch out for the yen, because if oil does spike lower and take out those lows, you might see a nice little sell-off in the U.S. dollar yen. So I think that trade potentially exists, and that's why I'm saying to watch oil as far as a currency trade, because the yields going into the Fed meeting are most likely not going higher. We may see a little bit of a pullback into the range, a profit-taking slide, but I don't think you're going to see any real major push for like higher yields. I think they're going to pretty much hang where they're at for until the meeting is over.
Now, it's a bold call, man. You've had some great calls because the market, they think that the Fed, that they're coming with at least a cut. And so as a trader, there are some cuts priced in right now in terms of the probabilities. So if you're looking for that, are you trading that right now, Teddy? Or are you just taking that approach to the next week and seeing where we go from there? But, it's a bold call for sure. The market thinking maybe that September, that a week from now. So looking at the dollar, how are you managing those types of trades with a call that's a little bit against the grain right now?
That's a great question, Tommy. Most of the people who trade Forex don't trade futures or futures options. I would say there's probably some potential for trades there, some spreads in front of the Fed. If you want to actually get long or short the number, I would say use that mechanism and don't use outright futures or Forex derivatives just because until there's action, there's the old adage, buy the rumor, sell the fact. But there's always a swing trade when there's a buy or the rumor, sell the fact. There's no swing trade coming out of a range. We're in a range, and even if we break out, we've only proven to lift the upper boundary or lower the lower boundary, where a rally may pierce a new high, but it doesn't start a new leg higher. All it does is kind of buffer up the ceiling a little bit, and it falls right back into at least the median area. So until we have action, like true action by the Fed with most likely an outlook that there will be follow through behind that, then I think there'll be then I will go with the outrights. But until then, I think it's a sucker's game. You might as well go to a craps table and throw a stupid bet down like on the field for one bet and see what happens. Honestly, that's the way I'm looking at it as far as value. I always look for value. If there's no value, what are you doing? Then you're breaking all the cardinal rules of disciplined trading, which is how you become a successful trader and keep being a trader. If you break these rules, I promise you won't be trading for very long.
It's a great way. And one thing, it's a great mentality, right? To look at it like that. Like you're looking for value, right? You're looking for an edge. You're looking for a positive expected value. And the way I try and look at things myself sometimes, Teddy, is you say to yourself, because you can always say to yourself, can I make money in this trade, right? Well, you can always make money if the market was with you. And then I try and shift my head myself. I say, am I losing money by not making this trade? Right? Like, imagine that shift even in itself. And it kind of speaks to like, okay, it's patient. It's like, no, this is such a good setup and you're not losing its opportunity cost. But you know what I mean, Teddy? It just shifts it to saying like, wait a second, if I'm not making this trade, it's such a good opportunity versus saying, folks, I need to be in the action. Yes, this could be a setup. No, how about it's so good that if you take yourself out of the market, this is one of those opportunities. And that's the way, and it's great how you say that, man, because people might come on, folks, and they say, you got to trade this, you got to trade that. I love the way you put it out, Teddy, because sometimes it's just, hey, listen, we got a little patience, we're only talking about a week. It's a great way to look at it. And that's, folks, it's a mental game a lot of the times. We all want action, man, especially if you're in this market, right? If you're watching the show right now, you're in the market, you're not afraid of some action. But part of that is just keeping your hands in your pocket sometimes.
Absolutely.
Hey, how about the conversation, Teddy, with short-term rates, right? The 2-year, the 10-year, the 30-year. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because obviously the 30-year, I was looking at where we were even last September versus where we are now, longer-term yields rising. How do you look at that when you're looking at currencies a little bit?
Well, the short terms right now, especially because we're with a looming Fed meeting and a rate cut, I'm definitely watching the shorter terms, especially the 10-year. The 30-year, the short terms drive the interest rates in the short term, long terms drive it in the long term. There is no long-term trend with the long-term rates. You get a better swing trade with the 10-year and the 5-year than you will out of the 30-year right now. When the 30-year moves, though, that's when you know you're going to have some action, especially if we get it to the upside. But that's a really great question. Right now, as a 10-year and 30-year trader, I prefer to always trade the 30-year. Okay, that's for multiple reasons I'm not going to get into. However, in a period like this, where you have range-bound currency markets, and there's only what's the average true range? What can you capitalize on? I can't capitalize in the 30-year, but there is a little bit of room in the 10-year because shorter terms move a little bit more,
Nice.
So, I mean, at least in the, right now the way they're moving.
Yeah.
So not typically. See, this is like a reverse spread. And that's why I say be careful about until we have confirmation, because otherwise you're going to get caught getting sucked back into the range trade. If you tried to play every breakout in every Fed meeting for the last 5 months, 6 months, where did that get you?
Oof.
Absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Great advice, man. Great advice. And I love how you just get into that discipline, the mentality, and folks, that's so much of it, we know. Teddy, great information, man. And hey, next week we got Fed Week. 1 week from today. We'll talk to you next Wednesday, man. Look forward to it.
Take care, Tommy.
Take care. Folks, check out that Tiger Forex Report, Teddy's webinars. You heard it there. Great information, breaks down those individual currency pairs, and we'll come right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at Oracle, up by 37.4%. Now, you were up to almost 340. You're up almost 40% on this equity. Now, this equity is currently valued at just shy of $1 trillion. What's remarkable is there's 2.8 billion shares outstanding. And just taking a quick look at a Google, and not sure when up to date this is, but Ellison himself is at about 41% of the company. The next biggest one is Vanguard at 5.8. and that's just funds. 1.158 billion shares, okay? And I think I was just hitting it. Yeah, I was. And even at $334, that's at $331 right now. $334 puts him at $387 billion. So depending on where this closes today, he might outtake Elon. And they've been intertwined for a while. If you remember the days back in the day, and I got to look it up. So I was talking to a friend this morning and talking about Ellison and Elon and how now they're 1-2. But if you remember, folks, remember in the early days of Tesla when they were having some big cash problems, right? Ellison comes in, he buys shares, puts a cash injection in there, gets a seat on the board, and instantly just his backing alone boosted that equity. Well, hey. Nonetheless, 1-2. Quite a run. Tesla shares up by 0.3. We check in on some of the other equities, though. Microsoft, they gave it up. Microsoft was a solid 1.5% higher in the pre-market. Boom. Give it all back to flat from Microsoft shares. The other cloud providers not getting it done right now. Okay? No gain whatsoever. Look at Amazon, right? Saying, oh, no. You know what's happening is they're losing business. Maybe that's why Amazon was only growing Azure at 17% on their last earnings. Okay? So it's a real deal, man. Oracle up by 37.3%. And who are the beneficiaries? NVIDIA up by 4%. AMD up by 2.2%. And Broadcom up by 7%. Big numbers, man. Folks, thanks so much for kicking off your trading day right here. Stay tuned. Basil Chapman, he's coming up next with the Tiger Technicians Hour. S&P's up by 28 points right now. Have a great day. Have a safe day, folks. We'll see you this afternoon. Have a great one, everybody.